Let's call this then the official beginning of our special webinar. It's been a while in the making, and I apologize everyone for their patience. Pamela and I have been working for some time because we've wanted to put together one of our special webinars where we can focus on the benefits of becoming a member of CMC Global Institute. So here we are. We're both very excited to be with you today. And to kick us off, our chairman of the CMC Global Institute, Tamara Abdul-Jamar, is also on the call with us today. So I thought to start us off, I would ask if she had a few words of welcome for us. So I'll hand it to you, Tamara.
Thank you, Dwight. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. We're organizing this activity following our regular monthly members meetings, but I think this is something that you will all find beneficial since we plan to address interesting topics throughout the series. And I thank Dwight for organizing this activity in general and for Pamela for helping him in this special event. I welcome you all, and I look forward to continuously interact with you and hopefully hear your feedback about future events that you would like to see us organizing. Thank you.
Thanks, Tamara. That's great. Thank you very much. So in terms of the event today, I'm the past chair of the CMC Global Institute Board, and I have volunteered to take on this role of being the special events coordinator, because I think it's really important that we find opportunities for us as members of the Global Institute to come together. So we have a few slides that we're going to walk through, and then I'm going to introduce Pamela, who is the chair of our Marketing and Communications Committee. We have a lot more words than that, but those are the two key aspects of the work of that group. So we'll hear more from Pamela more towards the end, but it's also an open discussion. So if anybody has any questions, please do use your raise hand or to jump in. While we are going through this, though, if you could keep your microphones on mute, I'd very much appreciate that, because then that stops interference from others while we're working through the presentation. So as we were putting this together, we thought a good starting point for us is to think about what is the CMC Global Institute. Because if you're a management consultant and you're out there and you're thinking about becoming a member in an institute, why would you think about the CMC Global Institute, and who are we? So we wanted to start with that thinking. And we've got our little sort of informal slogan here, filling in the white spaces. So if you think about the world, there are institutes for management consultants in many countries of the world. And these that are colored yellow on this map in front of you are those countries who have institutes for management consultants that are a member of a global organization called the International Council for Management Consulting Institutes, ICMCI. Over the last 2 years at the global level, we've started to rebrand that to talk about it as the CMC Global. So CMC Global equals ICMCI equals International Council for Management Consulting Institutes. So over time, we'll get that terminology right. But if you hear people talking about global, they're talking about this parent organization with all of these members that are covered with gold on the map. I said yellow earlier. I think gold is much more prestigious. And then, or if you hear ICMCI or even sometimes the Institute, and that's what people are talking about. But if you look at the map again, then the thing that jumps out is that of the 48 countries that are colored in globe, that leaves over 100, about 150 countries that are white. They have no institute that are a member of CMC Global where management consultants can join. So our job, if you will, as a virtual institute is to provide services to the white space. So we want any management consultant anywhere in the world, if there is no institute that's available for them to join within their country, they can join us and get the same members of benefits, which we're going to be talking about, benefits of membership, excuse me, which we're going to be talking about, but also the ability to become certified. The last point I'll make on this slide, you'll notice that that 2 spots are in yellow here. Are in blue. And this is a decision of the board of CMC Global last March that any country that has 3 or more members of part of CMC Global Institute will be colored in blue. So as you see, we will literally be filling in the white spaces on this map as we grow. So we have Moldova, who has, I think, over 20, almost 25 members, and United Arab Emirates, who has, I think it's 8 members. So, so those are 2 blue spots we have on our map, and we're working to continue to fill those in. So in order to do our work, we do have a mission. So like any other organization, we have our vision for filling in the white spaces, and we have our mission to elevate the standards of management consulting anywhere in the world where management consultants need that. So we have more information on our website about this, and if anyone wants more information, we can provide that to you. And actually, we have on our YouTube channel, we just had a session on strategy, so you could check that out and learn about that as well. Then in terms of our strategic objectives, you see them here. We're now starting to rewrite our strategy and our strategic objectives, because we're so excited. Just last week, we were notified that we're now a full member of CMC Global. So as a full member, we have the authority to issue certificates and to develop and grow our organization with all of our members. So we're really excited about that. So we'll be working on these. So anybody that has any ideas or thoughts in terms of how to fine tune our strategic objectives, please do be in touch, because we would love to do that. So that's the preview. I wanted to sort of set the scene for you, but now we're going to move into the main part of the agenda, which is why should a management consultant be a member of an institute? And we thought the best way to start this is to hear 4 stories. So on the next few minutes, we're going to start by talking or hearing from Pam. Pam, if you might want to introduce yourself as chair as well, and then tell us a bit about your story in terms of why you wanted to be a member institute consultant. And then we've got 3 other stories, and then we'll move into more of a Q&A kind of session. So I hand it over to you, Pam. We can't hear you, Pam, if you're trying to contact us.
Oh, good. I get to redo it even better.
Very good. There you are.
There. Sorry about that. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's great to be on a call with colleagues from around the world. My name is Pamela Campagna, and I live in Boston, Massachusetts. And for the past 20 years now, I'm on my 20th anniversary, I have been a management consultant. That's when I started my own practice. Prior to that, for about a dozen or so years, I worked in industry, and I worked primarily in the technology sector, on the marketing, operations, and strategy side. And so for me, my journey started, of course, out of graduate school with an MBA, moving then into industry, and I decided to step out in 1997 and start my consulting practice. Throughout my journey, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes, but throughout my journey as a solo practitioner, I found that there were some shortcomings to working alone. Although I worked with clients and I worked on teams, I did not feel as though I had a community of peers, of colleagues that I could work with or share ideas with. Someone that might be a mentor to me. And so I began my personal journey looking for an organization that I could join. So about a dozen years or so ago, I joined the Institute of Management Consultants in the U.S. And so I'm a full standing member of that organization. And over the years, I had become a president of the local chapter. I've served on the board of directors for some of the committees in the U.S. with IMC USA, and I continue to participate in the Institute. And again, for me, the real interest was in building community or participating in a community and collaborating with other consultants. In 2013, I decided to really go the next step in my personal and business development and look at ways to replicate that sort of community and collaboration on a global level. My consulting practice is global in nature. I'm also a professor at an international business school, and so for me, I was very much interested in connecting with other consultants from around the world, and that's where I became involved with CMC Global Institute. And so since 2013, I've been involved in the marketing side, and I sit on the board of the CMC GI, and I'm very pleased to be a part of it. So Dwight, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you very much, Pam. That was great. I do appreciate that. I thought I might also say a few words about my journey as a management consultant and certification. My first career was actually in the not-for-profit sector, where I worked in Canada and in Geneva, Switzerland, with the Canadian Red Cross, then the International Red Cross. And when I was coming to the end of that term in Geneva and coming back to Canada, I thought it would be very good to get into consulting, as most people do as they're getting towards the end of their career. But the firm that I joined, the president was very enlightened and said, if you're going to be a consultant, you're going to be certified, because it shows to clients that you're serious about being a management consultant. So that was 1999, and I went through the certification process in Canada. And appreciated that fact. But I must admit, in the first few years, didn't give it much more thought than that, and beyond, keeping my certification up to date and attending some professional development activities. But in 2012, I volunteered for the first time with the Breakthrough Strategy, which was the CMC-Global, the beginning of the process to figure out how do we work more together and better together as a federation of institute members. So that really got me connected to management consultants in other countries, in other parts of the world, in other disciplines of management consulting. And to me, that was when the light was turned on, in fact, around how much more powerful one's practice can be if one collaborates with peers, and particularly in the fertile area of peers from other parts of the world. So when I started this company, I'd actually retired for a while, but I can't say I got bored, but I did come across a methodology that's so powerful. I wanted to provide that to clients around the world, and in doing that, have worked successfully with management consultants in other parts of the world. So to me, the real strong benefit of being a member is that sense of networking, that sense of building on my own expertise by being in touch with others, and that shared journey that by working together we can help our clients in an even stronger way. So anyway, that's enough. I could go on for that, but I really have been taken with this. Pam, you mentioned some of your volunteer activities, and I think that's a great way for me to end as well. I not so much involved with CMC Canada, but on the Breakthrough Strategy. This initiative, in terms of the Global Institute, was something that I've been working on for some time, and I'm also on the board of CMC Global, and I'm currently the treasurer on that board, and therefore work at the global level and the institute level. So thank you very much for that opportunity. I've just received, as you were talking, Pam, I received an email from Abdullah. He's in the United Arab Emirates, and his plan had been to provide input into to tell his story as well. But unfortunately, there's been a medical emergency at his office, and he's not been able to attend. So we hope all is well, Abdullah, and we will move that. We will get to hear from him in the future. We do have a fourth person, and my apologies to everyone. Valeriu Chernay from Moldova. We had talked about his possibly joining us, and I wasn't aware that he could join us, so I don't have his picture on the slide to be as official. But Valeriu, excuse me, I'm having a little trouble with my voice here. Valeriu and I spoke this morning, and he did join us, and he will now speak to us. And this is a very interesting story, because he and a number of management consulting colleagues from Moldova have joined in a group to the Institute, and we're just so delighted to welcome them to the family. So without stealing your thunder, Valeriu, I'll pass it over to you and hear a few words from you about your take on the benefits of membership.
Right. Was trying to unmute.
Thank you.
Dear colleagues, I'm very happy to meet you. And looking forward to have a great family within ICMC. As Dwight said, we have tomorrow hearings for the CMC certification. So I'll ask you to support us at least. And yes, we are very positive with the initiative. We are, as it was mentioned, we are a team of 20+ persons here join the institute. And as far as I know, about 14 or 15 are going to sit for the hearing and hopefully to get the certification. I don't know whether to say a few words about myself and my experience as a consultant. I started to work in a bank as a security officer. So my background is information security mainly, and everything which relates to information technology. And this knowledge I got later on when I joined Ernst & Young, now EY. I passed all the levels within Ernst & Young, you know, starting as a senior, as a semi-senior, and then I quit EY as a senior manager in the Moscow office. So I used to work here in Moldova for 3 years, and then in Russia, in Moscow for 4 years, having different clients, but still mainly focused on the financial sector. Used to work with the Deutsche Bank, Raiffeisen. In Moldova, there are no many people to say that they had a chance to work with every bank here in Moldova. So now I am a partner in Moore Stephens, which is a UK company, let's say. We're a team of 60 persons. Of course, we have auditors because mainly this company is known as an audit company. We are operating in Romania and Moldova. And, the CMC certification, you know, I did not meet a person to be a certified information system auditor, ISO lead auditor, ISO 27001, if you know the information security, at the same time being certified as a management consultant. So this will, in my view, will bring a lot of advantage compared to my competitors. The second point is to meet you and to be part of a larger family, and I can feel that I got a larger family already. The program here in Moldova gave the opportunity to meet all the consultants, or the best consultants in Moldova, and now we are trying to find synergies and to initiate joint projects, so to deliver at a maximum quality to our clients. Why not? We are open, and we started discussions about some partnerships with our colleagues, our mentors, and things like this, which is Austria, Ukraine, and Romania. So I am personally looking forward, and I believe we will do great things together and to move this on. More than this, we started to work on documents to have an association here in Moldova.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much for that overview. Excellent, and good luck with the assessments tomorrow.
Yeah, this is the key point for today and for tomorrow as well.
Very good, very good. I know it'll go well, but you have to prepare. So well done.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that overview. I think we can take from what we've heard from all of the participants that the sense of family and management consultants being able to collaborate and work together is the theme that I heard coming through all of these, and there are many other benefits as well. So let's move on to those, and from this to the second part of this webinar, Pamela will be taking more of the lead, but I'll continue in the MC role here. So we are going to switch now and start talking more about what are the benefits of membership, and we've put a few slides together. So Pamela, I'll turn it over to you. Did you have any general introductory comments you'd like to make first?
Yes, thank you, Dwight. Before I jump into this section, I'd like to just pause for a moment to see if anyone has a specific comment or a specific question that you'd like to be sure that we address. So I'll give a moment for people to unmute if anybody would like to ask a question or make a comment before I get started. And Otto, please keep your both hands on the wheel, okay? All right, great. Well, thank you very much, Dwight. And what I'd like to do is just spend a few moments and talk a little bit about some of the benefits to the members of CMC Global Institute. And you'll see that as a young organization, a lot of what we are working on is in process, and especially since we are now a full member, member of ICMCI, formerly called ICMCI, but we are recognized now as a full institute. And what that means is that in terms of our ability to provide certification to potential CMCs, we can do that now directly. And that provides a benefit of being able to mentor and to coach and to work together with those individuals from around the world who would like to consider obtaining the certification. So I'll talk about that a little bit more, but just to give you a sense of context of where we are right now, the organization has been up and running for several years, and the momentum is building. So when I talk about the benefits, I like to talk about the 4 C's. And the 4 C's are connection, collaboration, community, and credibility. So Dwight, if you could go to the next slide, please. Dwight, there you go. Thank you. So the first is around connection, and I think we've heard a little bit from the 3 of us already that being able to network with individuals, with peers, is very important. This is certainly one of the benefits of any organization, of any institute. But the real difference here with CMC GI is that we have a global network, and that's truly unusual. And so to the extent that we can network, we can talk to one another, we can share information and ideas on LinkedIn in a forum or on Facebook. Or upcoming, we will be able to do this on our own private platform as part of our new website, which will be launching in the next several months. Next slide, please. The second point is around collaboration. And collaboration means not only being able to interact with one another, but it's really about sharing best practices. I've had conversations with at least half a dozen of the members of CMC GI about topics ranging from how do you brand your business? What is happening in your local market? What are some of the current technologies that you see your clients using? And so to be able to stay at the top of your game and to be able to access not only the knowledge and the expertise of one another, but also another benefit of membership in CMC GI is professional development. We have a new chair of the Professional Development Committee, and John, I think, is on the webinar today, and he is working on an entire curriculum of professional development activities that we can all access in order to continue to improve our expertise. And then on the next slide, really talking about community. I mentioned already our community of individuals, but the online community, LinkedIn and Facebook and social media, we're ramping up our activities in terms of being able to enhance our community. And also we are a member and participating with ICMCI. So even though CMC GI is a separate institute, we are part of a larger community. And that's certainly a benefit relative to other organizations around the world. Part of the community too, I think we've talked about mentoring and coaching, and especially as one is going through the certification process or the recertification process. And I think, as was mentioned, you've had interactions with Austria, Ukrainian, and other Moldovan consulting peers as you go through the process of certification. That's very unusual in an organization, but that is, of course, a benefit of membership in CMC GI. And then I think on the final point I'd like to talk about, next slide please, is really the credibility factor. The fact that through membership in CMC GI, one can apply for certification or maintain their certification. So every 3 years recertify in order to keep your certification up to date. And I think many of us have already mentioned the value of certification. I've been a CMC now for 7 years, and it certainly is a differentiator for me in the marketplace. Less than 1% of all consultants have the CMC designation, and I really use that as a way to present myself in the global marketplace and also to promote my business. So for those who are considering applying to become a CMC, there are direct and pretty straightforward steps to do so. But the first step is one must be a member in CMC GI. So the first step is to apply for membership, and then the second step is to work through the certification process. Next slide. Some of the other benefits, as I mentioned, as part of CMC-Global, the umbrella organization, we have access to information, access to development opportunities, and one of the newly launched assets, or resources rather, is a free subscription to CMC Today. There's also a great website that I would encourage you to look at if you are considering membership and you'd like to learn more about the organization, more about our global reach, more about how we support CMCs and the management consulting profession worldwide. Next slide, please. So as I said, the steps to becoming a certified management consultant, a CMC, is first to become a member. We've streamlined this process so you can access the membership forms directly from our current website. And then once you have been accepted as a member, then you can begin the certification process. And there are a number of resources, individuals, and information that can help to guide you through that process. Next slide, please. The one important point is the certification the certification process is built upon a competence framework, and this is a global framework that all of the IMCs have adopted. And the competence framework has three major elements. One is business and technical competence, so that must be demonstrated in order to become a certified management consultant. The second is consulting competency, skills, and behaviors. And then the third is values and ethical behavior competence. So if you're interested, you can learn more about the overall competence framework. And this is really the context in which practicing members and CMCs operate. So that is the competence framework. Membership is also opened to non-managers who are not practicing management consultants, but who may satisfy the criteria for membership. There are, next slide please. There are several levels of membership. There is the CMC member, there is the non-CMC member, and there is an affiliate membership. And this is just a general sense of the membership fee and fee schedule. We do prorate the fees depending on the month in which a member joins. There's also a stratified fee structure. So depending on the country from which you hail, your membership fee may be calculated at a different rate. And this is based on the World Bank economic indicators. Next slide, please. So as Dwight had mentioned, we recently conducted a webinar that talked about certification, talked in detail about the process, talked about CMC in the global marketplace. So without rehashing a lot of that, I would encourage you to check out the YouTube channel where you can find a lot of information and a lot of interactions regarding CMC Global Institute. Next slide, please. So in summary, and I'll pass it back to you in a moment, Dwight, but in summary, I think as Tamara put it in a recent note, really the designation recently of CMC Global Institute as a full member really gives us stronger belief that our organization is an umbrella organization that ensures that we adhere to rigorous standards that are regularly monitored and support consulting worldwide. We promote excellence and ethics in management consulting through connection, collaboration, community, and credibility. So with that, I'll hand it back to Dwight. I know I've covered a lot of information, so please, if anyone has a comment or a question or an observation, I'd welcome it.
Thank you very much, Pam. What an amazing amount of information. That was great. Thank you. I would like to open it up now to the floor. We've got a number of participants on. So number one, if you have a question of something we didn't cover or something that you're curious about, now's the time. And we also have Tamara still on. So if we need a broader question from the board perspective, we can answer those. Or also, if there are other benefits that you yourself have experienced or feel are important that we may not have touched on as specifically, I would love to hear from you. So so I'm going to open it up now, and I think if I press here on participants, hopefully that doesn't ruin everybody else's screen, but we can see everybody here.
Right.
Oh, who would like to start? I'd love to get a bit of information, please, or comments from someone.
I just have a quick comment.
Yes, please, Tamara.
You both talked about this being a family and the support that we would like to give each other as members belonging to this family. And for that reason, we would like to continue to mentor candidates for the CMC designation. And our chair of certification, Dr. Basanta Chase, is currently planning a training for potential mentors for CMC candidates. We will be announcing that very soon. And I hope that those who are already CMCs would sign up so that we can all collaborate to help develop CMCs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a great opportunity to become even more directly involved with others of our colleagues and help them in the family as certified management consultants as opposed to members. Any other comments? Modesta, if I see that you're on and you're probably as remote as anyone else from the consulting industry. Have you any comments for us? Or John, perhaps from the professional development? I know that Pam mentioned that you were on. Yes, I see your name there. Not to put anybody, not to put too much stress on anyone, of course.
Hello, it's John Pascal with the Professional Development Committee. I'm interested to ask participants what their professional development needs are and how we can meet them. So those are, for example, courses in ethics and in fundamentals of management consulting, in negotiation and project management, and in personal and interpersonal skills. Interested in comments from participants as far as what they'd like to see in terms of training.
Excellent. Good. Let's add that to the list. I love that idea.
This is Otto. I would say that regarding professional development, John's question, I would say there are one part that is formal courses, as you may think, for the fundamentals of X technical competence, but also I think it's worthwhile the sharing of information to see what both what everyone is doing around the world, and two, what's the state of the art regarding X type of technical competence, because sometimes you don't know what you need until you see what is the state of the art in that competence.
Mm-hmm. Very good. You don't know what you don't know, as you say. Thank you for joining us while you're obviously traveling between meetings, and for being safe and pulling over to the side of the road. So thank you, Otto. Very much appreciated. Any other comments or questions for us today?
I guess this is Pamela again. I'd like to add to Otto's point. Oftentimes, starting a collaborative conversation around what is state of the art or what is happening in your particular country or region, that could be the starting point from which ideas for professional development may come. So I would just encourage us as we're having these conversations, or even in our own consulting practices, as we are coming upon challenges or situations where we'd like feedback, that could be the starting point. And out of that could come a suggestion for John and his committee to say, you know, we're struggling with this, and it might be a great idea to consider a workshop on the topic. Mm-hmm. So I'd encourage maybe connecting some of those as well.
Excellent. Very good thought. And on that, and the sense of community, I love the 4 C's, by the way, Pam. That's great. We'll have to figure out how to use that.
The marketing in me.
It is, exactly. the other information I'd give to you, just to stress, and Pam did raise this, but the social media platforms that are in place are an amazing tool. So the YouTube channel, this will be posted there. We have a monthly meeting which is held the second Tuesday of every month at the same time as this webinar. So please keep that time free, because it's a chance to talk with others. But if you check out the YouTube channel, please do join it. If you do join, then the folks at Google will let you know whenever we have new content posted, so you don't have to go back regularly to do that. We have our own LinkedIn discussion page, which is great. So you can ask a question there. If you come across something that you think is of interest, you can post it. And similarly, our parent organization, CMC Global, has a LinkedIn page if you want to reach out even a little bit further than that. So there are lots of opportunities to be in touch, but do remember the monthly meeting of members, where we try to get a very interesting topic each month, and then meet a couple of the other members and open it up for general discussion. So last chance, folks, before we wind it up. Any other questions or any other comments or any other experiences that you'd like to share?
Dwight, maybe, I don't know, request or if it is possible to share the presentation with us, so we be able to see the links, which I believe they are useful. And especially I'm interested to join the YouTube, LinkedIn and things like this. Not sure that I'll be able to attend every webinar, but I'll do my best. At the same time, okay, we are digital, let's say.
Yes.
So I'll be able to watch the YouTube and to get in touch using the social media.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Not everyone can attend everyone, or we wouldn't be management consultants, because we also have clients to keep happy. But for sure, what I'll do is I'll circulate actually this to everyone later in the week. I think what I'll do is I'll post this to YouTube, and once that's live, then I'll send this around, and a copy of this presentation, and write in the email any of the key links that you need for YouTube and LinkedIn and so on. I think that's a great idea.
We can also post it to our private LinkedIn group.
Okay, yeah, that's a very good idea as well. So we'll do both. Okay, well, I think that's then winding down. What was my last slide here is, I think, is just any other questions, which I already asked. Yes, any other questions? So let's call that a day then. Thank you very much for your prep work on this, Pam. It was very, very helpful, and Valeriu for participating and leading off the discussion on your journey. I appreciate that very much. And to all for participating and being here, thank you very much. I hope you have a great rest of the day, whatever time zone you're in.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.